The fraud, the fake Godman himself has fled.
Many people asked me, Swamiji, why did you leave such a huge empire you built?
Some say he has fled to a South American country. He has so much money.
Law enforcement really needs to take a much more serious look at these isolated groups.
We are going to be safe forever. That is the good news I have for all my disciples.
There are the polymaths, and then there's Paramahamsa Nityananda. That is, at least if you take the word of the self-proclaimed God-man himself. Healing the blind, stopping the sun from coming up, making farmyard animals speak in perfect Sanskrit. The 44-year-old really can do it all. To his followers, Nityananda is a divine being. But to his many detractors, he's a con man and a cult leader who has somehow escaped justice despite being wanted by Interpol on rape and kidnapping charges.
Former member of Nityananda's cult had accused him of raping her.
Where a father is fighting for justice, fighting for his two daughters whom he claims has been kidnapped and illegally confined.
He could have very well have fled the country, ensuring that he once again escapes from the law.
In 2019, he fled his native India despite lacking valid travel papers. Where does a guru on the run settle down in the early 21st century? Simple. He establishes his own state.
Kailasa is the space where human beings literally become divine beings.
Though no one is exactly sure of Kailasa's coordinates, or even its existence, rumor has it that it lies off the coast of Ecuador and even has its own flag, currency, and COVID policy.
It is not just a temple or a monastery or a adhinam, not even a nation. It is an enlightenment ecosystem.
Welcome to the business of crime. In this episode, we're looking at the rich tradition of cults, buying up land across the world, the occasional successes, and the many often bizarre, dangerous, and sometimes fatal failures. It makes a lot of sense for any ambitious cult, whatever its belief system. You've got charismatic leadership and a growing number of devoted followers. The next logical step is finding somewhere of your own to settle down and plan a new dawn society or whatever else is on the table.
The idea being to isolate themselves, not to be accountable to the authorities, child protective services, police.
This is where they lived, among the stables, barns, and phony buildings of an old rundown movie location 20 miles from Los Angeles.
From the Manson family's Spahn Ranch out in the Californian hills to Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh's vast Oregon ranch in the early 1980s, it's a common enough story offering the chance to live apart from mainstream society and away from any prying eyes.
In many of these isolated compounds, there are crimes being routinely committed.
It isn't as simple as it used to be. In May 2019, authorities in northern Minnesota called a temporary halt to construction on land linked to Seth Jeffs, a high-ranking figure in the fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
This is the hidden world of the FLDS, one of the largest polygamous groups in the United States.
The plan involved building a 5,760 square foot structure to house some of the controversial group's adherents. Unlike mainstream Mormons, the thousands-strong sect still practice polygamy as a matter of course.
The huge compound where Jeffs and his so-called sister wives lived, all 79 of them.
Seth Jeffs' brother is considered by followers to be a prophet sent from God. He is also serving a life sentence for assaulting two of his child brides.
He was one of the most wanted men by the FBI for a period of time when he was a fugitive. So by controlling all this real estate and all these different locations, Warren Jeffs maintained his power.
There are others who have had more success.
But yet, the left says, you're the dangerous ones, you're the Nazis, you're the white supremacists, and half of you, or 90% of you are not white.
The Rod of Iron Ministries is the latest offering from Pastor Hyung Jin Sean Moon, son of the infamous Reverend Sun Myung Moon, who started the hyper-conservative Christian ministry in South Korea before taking it to the US in the 70s.
This is what most people remember: the mass weddings, the Moonies. Young people sent out to sell flowers and give all their money to the church.
The younger Mooney follows his late father's teaching with a couple of contemporary twists. In the book of Revelation, Jesus spoke of using a rod of iron to protect the true believers. Sean Moon's take involves worshipping with AR-15s and a strong devotion to all things MAGA.
These Christians believe they must build God's kingdom on earth, and to do that, they'll need guns.
The gun really does represent strength, peace through strength. You know, if you have a gun in self-defense, the criminal or the predator will back off.
In 2021, the group bought a 40-acre space in central Texas, not far from Waco, a safe haven for patriots and true believers in the coming war brought about by the machinations of the so-called deep state. The new site has a range of amenities, including a shop, cabins, and outdoor campsites. But that hasn't stopped them from setting up a GoFundMe page for further work.
We thank you that we would have the opportunity to be able to practice and love God and love our neighbor. From you, we receive our rights of kingship and sovereignty.
While the Latter-day Moonies fret about malign unseen forces perverting the American nation, another US town offers a case study in how to attempt a stealthy takeover.
The real problem is that Moscow is dying.
Moscow is a small, superficially tranquil city in Idaho and home to the Christchurch Group, a 2,000-person strong, ultra-conservative congregation formed in the 90s. Led by Douglas Wilson, a deeply controversial slavery apologist, the group have called for the establishment of a theocracy in the US. In late 2021, reports broke of the group's growing influence in Moscow, with downtown land purchases and aggressive attempts to influence local businesses and initiatives. Concerned residents spoke of how the church were looking to expand and attract new members to settle in the area. Perhaps unsurprising, given its stated goal is to make Moscow a Christian town.
If Christchurch is a racist, sexist cult, it must be combated.
Maybe establishing the kingdom of heaven on earth isn't quite as simple as its prophets would have you believe.